Hi, everybody. Sandy Kreisberg, our great colleague, John Byrne, is, I believe, attending the graduation of his daughter. So congratulations to them. Our
Definitely.
guest this week is Gregory. Here's some key facts. Here's the good, the bad, and the beautiful and the ugly about Greg. And there's a lot of each. How old are you, Greg?
So I'm 30 years old.
Okay,
30 years old.
30 years old is at the, the upper end. Like I would say the number of people at Harvard Business School who are 30 years old is like the 5% of the class. But as we say, someone's got to do it.
Definitely.
Okay, and then so you're 30. You've got a BA and a BS at
The University of South
University of South Florida.
Yes.
University of South Florida. You got a BA and a BS, and the numbers there are in terms of the GPA, like a 3.4.
Yes, that's right.
You got a 3.4 in 2013, and then you got an MS degree. Same place, or?
No, so that was at Florida A&M University.
Yeah, that's what happens when I can't read your resume, okay?
Yes, sorry about that. So that was at Florida A&M University, and I studied agricultural business. And I graduated with
but you got a 3.9 there, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's important, folks. What schools admire about a 3.9 is your ability to sit still, eat what they throw at you and spit it back. So those are traits that you have proven you can do. And then you've got a 720 GMAT, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you're an unusual guy. You got a lot going on. There's a lot of unusual stuff. What the schools are looking for are anchors they can hang on to. They say, I like this guy, but he's all over the place. Give me an anchor. And then the anchor is you got the 3.9 in the graduate program and you got the 720 GMAT. So if someone likes you, they've got something to anchor themselves. They can sell you to the other members of the admissions committee. Okay, tell us what you're doing now.
Okay, so currently I'm actually living in Nairobi, Kenya. So I relocated during the pandemic, and I'm working remotely as a licensed health insurance agent in the US, but I'm also living in Nairobi in Kenya. Since I've been here on the continent, I've been working with different non-governmental organizations and nonprofits as an extracurricular to kind of more follow my passion, because I have a passion for African development. And so my work experience doesn't quite reflect that, but my volunteer experience
that's one of the things you're going to have. It's one of the things you're going to have to explain. You've got a history in the life insurance business, right, or the insurance business?
Yes, the insurance business.
Like on your paper, you said licensed health insurance sales agent. So
yes,
it doesn't sound glamorous, but like I said, we're doing the good, the bad, and the ugly here. You're an insurance salesman, right?
Yes.
You want to explain that in any? What spin could you put on that?
So my job is to speak with customers and really get to the root of their needs, their wants, and tailor a program that fits those needs and those wants, and really focus on providing top service at the same time.
Yeah, insurance agents have a bad reputation, whether deserved or not, okay? And let me just give you a hint here. When you describe your job, you say operated within a high volume, high intensity sales environment.
Yes.
I'd take that out, okay?
Okay.
That sounds like one of those, one of those things where they got 20 guys on phones,
Right.
I forget what they call that.
So I really shouldn't tailor myself as a salesman per se.
Well, you should, certainly not a high volume salesman over the phone.
Okay, more of a personal one-on-one type of salesman.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, health insurance sales agent is who like, what does that mean? Don't people have health insurance through, well, Medicare and Medicaid, but so who's your customer base?
So people that are not yet in the age range for Medicare. So Medicare is typically if you're 65 and older, and then Medicaid is if you're in a certain income bracket or
Right.
below a certain income bracket. So for
Happy
everyone else that needs
Medicare
health
member here,
insurance,
let me tell you.
yes, sir. So for anyone else that's not in that range, I'm their guy. You know, I locate members. I have different ways of finding people that need healthcare but don't have access to it, and then educate them about their options and facilitate enrolling them into a policy that suits those
All right,
options
I'm
best.
going to leave it. You're a smart guy. I'm going to leave it to you to put the best lipstick on that.
Okay.
On that spouse. Then you worked you had another job as a U.S. Farm Credit Administrator, as an associate bank examiner for the U.S.
Yes.
Farm Credit Administration.
Yes. So that was a job actually with the federal government. And what we did was we audited and examined banks within the federal farm credit system. So in the US, we have a system of banking institutions and
Yeah,
associations.
I get it.
That
Yeah, you're a
lends,
bank
yep.
examiner, right?
So I was a bank examiner. But unfortunately, that was right before the pandemic. And so when the pandemic hit, a lot of our work was to travel to these different locations, these different institutions throughout the country. And obviously that was no longer
Oh, they don't want to
possible.
see you. Did you do surprise audits?
Yes, we would do surprise audits.
Oh
We'd
boy.
go in and stress test different banks.
Peekaboo.
Yes,
Guess who's
yes,
here?
yes.
The
So I'm
government.
guessing they were pretty happy when the pandemic kind of put the kibosh on all of that.
Okay. And then you had another job for Star Insurance.
Yes. So that was another licensed health insurance agent job. That was
That's the way they
my first
spelled it,
foray.
or did you drop an I on your resume?
That was the way that they spelled it. That was the way that they spelled it to differentiate themselves in the industry.
They're an insurance company and they're spelling insurance N-S-U-R-A-N-C-E. And
I'm not the marketing guy.
I'm just saying. And this they think is going to convince people to, people, when you buy life insurance, you're looking for boring. You know what I mean?
That's true.
You're kind of hoping they're going to be there when you croak.
You don't want a fly-by-night company. That's for sure.
Anyway, another fun fact. And then you were a night manager at a hotel. Man, that is cinema noir stuff.
Yes.
You got a lot of stories from that, boy.
That, yes, definitely do. I can I can entertain a party with that one.
Okay.
For sure.
And then you were and then you had 5 jobs here, Safe Point, and another insurance job. So you're okay. This was just the sheet you sent to us, okay, which is, good because we asked for it.
Yes.
In terms of applying to schools, you gotta present that, you gotta put some lipstick on that. I would not spend a lot of time for the 11. You've got 3 inches of your resume as a night manager at a hotel.
Okay. So definitely thin that out as well.
I would really reduce it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I really feel like the weakest part of my resume is my job experience, and I'm trying to figure out how to best compensate for that.
well, you got to figure that out, because you're right. That's a very weak part. And
Yes.
unfortunately, that's a very important part.
Right.
All right. What business school? What get your magic ball out here. What business school would you go to? What's your first choice?
My first choice would be either Stanford or Wharton, because of their engagement with the continent of Africa. I know that Stanford really, really has a focus on African
Stanford loves
development.
Africa. Okay.
Yes.
So, I think your chances at Stanford.
But I know
My
Wharton
fear
also
is,
has a strong international program as well.
yeah,
So
no,
those are the two that.
they would love your resume. They just don't, if it didn't have any numbers, okay?
Got you.
And those, if it didn't have numbers like your age, your GPA, and, well, your GMAT scores, okay, okay.
Yes.
My fear for Stanford is there's some guy similar to you that they're gonna like more, okay? It's possible. Could you, could you lobby your way into Stanford? Do you know anybody with a Stanford contact? Because you're a presentable guy, you're a smart guy, you've got experience that's right up their alley.
I'm sure if I go through my Rolodex, so to speak, and start asking around, maybe there's
Who's gonna
somebody.
write
There's
your
no one off the top of my head.
recommendations?
So one person is the CEO of Birthright Africa. She's also an MBA. She studied at Indiana University, though. So she's a pretty solid recommendation with
Okay,
her background.
Stanford would like to hear from her. She's got a really, you've got to, you and her have to come up with a recommendation that really zings.
Okay.
Got to say this, I've worked with this guy. I've seen this guy do this and this. I believe that he will be an impactful business leader in Africa in areas like, you know, healthcare delivery, business development, et cetera, et cetera.
Yes.
I really
Okay.
believe this guy will be an impactful leader.
Okay.
He's got to say that. And she's got to give examples, and she has to bring in her own experience. Tell her to.
So bringing her MBA experience and her experience as a chief
not so much
executive
her
officer.
MBA experience, her experience. She goes, I work in Africa. I'm familiar with what having an impactful effect in Africa is. I've worked with Greg. I've seen Greg do this and this, and that is just a prelude to what I believe he could do with a powerful Stanford transformative MBA education. I foresee him as being a leader like 1, 2, and 3. It's got to be at that level.
Okay. Okay.
Who's writing your second? And that'll work for all schools. Who's writing your second recommendation?
So right now I'm leaning towards my current manager, just because I felt like, I need to have someone from my current workplace.
At the insurance company? What could he say?
Yes. They can talk about my performance as a licensed insurance agent, how I've been able to outperform the levels and quotas that have been set, my personability with our customers, my ability to quickly grasp concepts, and just the work that I've been able to do. Or do you feel like it's not necessary to have someone from my current workplace? That was really the only reason I was going to go that direction.
Who's the if you didn't use that guy, who would you use?
If I didn't use him, I can also go with, I do have a very close connection with an admissions director, but they're from the University of Florida, but I worked with them closely in undergrad, and I formed a very good relationship with them at that point. And I know that they're now an admissions director, I believe, for the School of Medicine, though, at the University of Florida currently.
You got to go with your supervisor, and you got to make that really sing. Is it possible that third person could lobby for you? Does that person, admissions is a, kind of a small world.
Right, right. So I really need someone that's connected in the Stanford circle. Is that what you're recommending?
Or who can connect herself,
Okay.
What's this 6 degrees of separation? Within admissions, it's like 2 or 3 degrees of separation.
Yes.
Everybody knows some, I'm just saying that could make a difference. You're going to have to be a little creative you're an unusual guy. You've got an unusual case. You've got powerful stuff that you have to get in front of them. So I'm saying you're going to have to really both apply and lobby at the same time.
Okay. What do you think about for that second level of business school? So Duke, Yale,
Yeah,
Darden.
okay. Yale likes guys like you, Duke likes guys like you, and so does Kellogg.
Okay.
I don't know how much energy you got. I'd also apply to HBS. They just got, HBS goes for guys like you, and they're bigger.
Okay. Okay. They have a larger, yeah, they take in a much larger class.
Yeah,
Okay.
they'll go, screw it, man. Okay, now let's deal with the 20 oddballs, and then, you come up.
Now, it's very important to me that the B school I go to is Africa centered, has a focus on Africa, has a presence in Africa, because, that ultimately that's where I want to pivot to. So I don't want to go somewhere where there's no focus whatsoever. There's no students from the continent. There's no connections that can be made. So what are some schools that you say I should probably avoid, or what are schools that you say I should
Yeah.
focus on?
Yeah, I wish John were here. He knows all this stuff.
Okay.
Man,
Okay.
let me tell you, my advice to you,
Yes.
go to the best school you get into, okay?
Okay.
And Africa will follow.
Okay. Definitely.
I don't know if Wharton has, it may, but I just don't know, But let's say
Right.
that Wharton is not particularly active in Africa. Man, if you got into Wharton, I'd go there, okay?
Okay.
If you didn't get into like Harvard or Stanford,
Right.
But given the choice between, let's say, Wharton and Duke, and let's say Duke has a lot of connections to Africa, you could make a real case for going to Wharton unless Duke says, we're going to fix you up, man. We're going to wire
Right.
you.
Send some
So
money.
you're going to graduate and join that. Okay.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
All right. Let me, you're a wild card, man. I think there's, as I say, schools will blink once, but they won't blink twice. And you're asking them to blink a lot. You're asking them to blink at your age. You're asking them to blink at an unusual set of jobs, including your current one. On the
Yes.
other hand, you've got a lot of stuff that the business schools really, really love, including tremendous international exposure, working with Birthright Africa, sustainability at global NGOs. You're active in the Ghana Foundation. You're a wild card. Your
Yes.
results could go all over the place. You're the kind of guy who could get rejected at Stanford, Wharton, Kellogg, Duke, and get into Harvard. There are people like that.
Right.
Where the results are just anomalous. So my advice to you is to apply to a lot of schools, as many as you can stand.
Do you think a higher GMAT would help, or do you think that the 720 is solid?
720 answers their questions.
Okay.
Do you think you can? I mean, I noticed that the split was pretty low on the quant part. Do you think you could bring that up?
It was my first. That was my first attempt. So I am
No,
actually
no kidding. Man, take it again. If a 740 with a higher, take it again and study for the quant.
Okay.
Learn all the quant tricks. If you got a 740 with a higher quant, that could make a difference.
Okay.
That
And
could really make a difference.
okay. And currently, what would you say are my chances for an interview? What would you say is the percentage, the probability that I can land an interview at a place like Stanford, Wharton, Harvard?
I don't think you're getting interviewed at Stanford, but I could be wrong. It's a wild card.
Okay.
You see, a place like Kellogg that interviews everybody, that's why I'd apply there, man.
Okay.
Kellogg is a Kellogg, man. Kellogg is your best shot at the gold. I think your chances of being interviewed at Harvard are index, man, 10%. I mean, that's anybody's chances. But you're a wild card, so don't let that
Right.
don't let that depress you. Let's finish this with a little interview prep. Let me see if you could do this.
Okay.
Let's say this is your Harvard interview, okay, and there's two interviewers, and the interviewer says, "I've read your resume, but the other person hasn't. Could you introduce yourself to the other person?"
Okay. So, hi, I'm Greg McNeely. I majored in undergrad in both biomedical sciences and finance. Originally, I was looking to go into the medical field, so I started out doing a lot of volunteer.
Goodbye. You're going to be in grade school for about 3 hours.
So, how would you spend that?
Hi, I'm Greg McNally. Right now, I live in Nairobi. That's like really important, and I'm working at wherever you're working, and I've got a real history with Africa. And then
just go straight for the international experience, because that's the strongest part of my resume.
The introducing yourself. Here's a mistake people make. They think you have to be complete, okay? But it's not a sales job, but it is a selective presentation, if you know the difference.
Okay. So, hi, I'm Greg McNeely. I'm currently living in Nairobi, Kenya. I have a passion for Africa. I've been doing a lot of work for NGOs on the continent for the past 2 years. Prior to that, I had multiple experiences.
But then you got to get real. Then you got to say, currently I'm working at blah, blah, blah.
Okay. So, right.
But so it's got to be a mix of that. But this thing about, they always interrupt you. So you want them to interrupt you at a high point.
Gotcha. Okay.
They never let you get through it. They can't control themselves.
So it's better to put the impressive things out front, because that's where you want them to interrupt you.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, let me know how it works out, Greg. You got a lot going for you. And business schools are looking for people like you. They're going to have to blink a couple of times, but they just might in your case. Okay.
Okay.
Work on. You're going to have to apply and lobby. That's my advice to you. Do you understand?
And so by lobbying, go to the different showcases and conferences that the schools may have.
That for sure.
Okay.
But also, like, have that woman who okay, see if she can turn up some people who could speak on your behalf, or, it's like 2 degrees, 3 degrees of separation.
Right. Right.
Yeah, okay. And do go to all the road shows if they're back.
Okay.
You just want to get in the room, because after that, you're a very powerful candidate. Okay.
Okay.
And Mitch, boy, I cannot tell you how annoying this resume is. It's not your fault, but every time I look at it and I can't read it, you get this resume with normal margins. All right.
Okay.
Okay, Greg, you're in great. You're a powerful candidate. But you're powerful. You've got a powerful positive charge, and you got some negatives. So, gotta
figure out how to offset the negatives.
You got to apply and lobby. Right. Good talking to you.
Thank you, Sandy. I appreciate it.
Okay.